Shawn Mendes,
Hey,
welcome.
thanks, man.
Nice to see you, man.
You too.
How's it going? So, why In My Blood for the first track on the record?
I guess when you're listening to a record, usually what happens is there's one, when you're listening through them all, and then you're like, oh, that's obvious. That's a single.
Yeah.
And for me, when I was listening to the record, it was really hard to tell what. There was like a few that I really felt strongly about. But In My Blood had this other extra layer to it, which was with the concept, which what it was about. Overcoming fears of anxiety, and as a songwriter and as a person, that was the most I've ever put into a record. And so that was the thing. And I was definitely really scared because it's had nothing like I've done in the past,
Right. I mean, so how are you doing with that right now?
Good. I mean, I think the thing is about anxiety is that it comes in phases and it's different for everybody. And in a moment when I was having it, I wrote a song about it. And I'm great right now. But I mean, I'm super proud of that record.
It's something I struggle with too, man.
Yeah.
Like it's every day, and I've had to go see people for it to deal with anxiety. I think that when people like you sing about it, when you're able to be kind of vulnerable like that, it really means a lot to people.
It becomes much more normal for whatever normal means.
But is that on your mind? Like,
yeah,
this is normalizing a little bit. This is making it okay.
Yeah, man. I think and the only way progression is going to happen is by talking about it and by allowing everybody to talk about it. It just becomes more of a normal thing. And hopefully in 10 years from now, nobody is really worried about it. And hopefully 10 years from now, we have better ways of dealing with it because people talk about it and they don't suppress it,
Well, yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of systemic changes that need to happen then too. But there's a line here.
Exactly.
I'm looking through my phone again, feeling anxious, afraid to be alone again. I hate this. Is that a specific moment you can bring yourself to?
Yeah, I mean, just social media and like bringing your people on our phones all the time and realizing like if you even try to, if you put your phone down and then leave your house without your phone, it's a crazy experience.
Yeah.
You find that you're just like, sometimes you're just sitting there looking at people being like, what would I be doing? I'd be on my phone in this moment right now.
I went to see Jack White the other day.
Oh, cool.
And he has a no phone policy at his
So does Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Oh, no, at his show, you mean?
At his show.
Ed Sheeran actually does not have a phone.
Yeah, that must be lovely, hey?
Yeah.
I think about it sometimes. I really do.
I do too. I don't think I'd be able to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because I would suck. But Ed really, really loves it.
Well, speaking of anxiety and speaking of phones, that's where I first saw you. Like, I remember having Vine because I wanted to see people fall off ladders or whatever it was, And then there was this kid in Ontario, and you were learning how to play guitar.
Probably, yeah.
You were learning how to play guitar. I remember seeing one of you playing for like a school assembly, and people were screaming at the school assembly, and I went, well, something's going on here. Yeah. And then, of course, the next thing you know, you're this
That was at the YMCA.
Here in Toronto?
Yeah.
What was the moment that you knew things were going to be different for you? Can you pinpoint a moment where you went, this is not a normal thing to happen to a kid?
Yeah. When I came down to Toronto and there was this meetup of Viners, and I remember going to the square and not really knowing what was going to happen. Yeah. But then it's a difference that when you see 300,000 as a number and you're like, oh, that's amazing. But you see 300 people in person chasing you, that is a different feeling. Yeah. They're different things. You, for some reason, don't think of them as the same. And I think when I came down to Toronto, there was the day, and I came up from the subway station, and there was about 300 people who all turned their heads and started chasing me.
So chasing you?
Literally, they chased me.
Sounds scary, can I say that?
Terrifying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, so exciting, being like, this is not normal, People are this excited to see me. That was a big moment.
Honestly, though, are there ever moments where you go,
I'm scared?
You're on, yeah, I mean, there had to be those, right?
Yeah, no, I mean,
when I asked Niall Horan this, and he said sometimes when you're in the back of the car and people are pummeling on the car when he was with One Direction, he said, yeah, it's a little bit scary. You don't know what's going to happen.
It's scary. I mean, sometimes you don't, especially when you're out of North America. But it's out of love, I think. It definitely is out of love.
Sure, I know. And then, again, it's an and situation.
Exactly.
You can be scary and you can.
And it's thrilling and exciting.
Yeah. Are there ever moments where you're on Facebook or you're on Instagram or something like that, and you see your friends from Pickering, your friends who you grew up with, and they're having a little bit more of a normal life as a 19-year-old, and you go, geez, I'd like to be able to do something like that.
No.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
No.
That sounds like gratitude. That's
it
great.
Is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. I know there's obviously a lot of sacrifices to be made to do what I do, but then there's millions and millions more things that I get to do that are incredible that I'm sure every 19-year-old in the world would love to do. And it's not hard to forget that for me. I live in a beautiful condo in Toronto at 19 years old.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my friends come and see it. You know, it's incredible for them to see, and I'm reminded every day how incredible it is that I get to do this for a living. So I see what you're asking. Yeah, I sometimes want to be able to go to university parties and stuff.
Or go to Subway and order a sandwich and not,
And you know, the answer to that is just do it still.
Do you ever put on the hat and just,
I don't even care. It's just do it and take the photos and answer the questions and don't be a dick in public and live the life that you are, because that's what it is, and just own it and be grateful for what you have, and then ignore what you don't have,
Well, now told me he went on a backpacking trip. Just, he went to parts of the world where people might not know where One Direction is. So, I mean, there's an option too. You can always just,
If you want, yeah.
Yeah, you can try and find yourself. Because he said, like yourself, you can pass by the Eiffel Tower. You probably can't go up to it. It'll be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Anyway, listen, enough on that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some of the cool things that you've been doing.